NFL Week 5 is here. Our best bets are on the way. It's Austin, joined by Logan. Logan, I hope you're having a great day. But first, we need to recap how we did last week. A wonderful week for us both. I went 10-5. You went 9-6. Hey, if you've been tailing the picks all season long, you're having a great season. I'm 34-24. Logan, you got me just barely 35-24. He's picked one more game than me. I'm going to have to get that back. But either way, hey, great start to the season. We are going to go through every single game. As always, they're all going to be timestamped down below. So if you're like, Austin, I got to be honest. Patriots and Dolphins isn't really moving the needle for me. I need to go to a different game. But look, we understand. We certainly appreciate it. Drop a like, subscribe before we dive into things. I do need to talk about two things. The first one is my Bet365. We're on Bet365. We're looking at all the different offers they got, and they got a great one for you right now. Down below, you sign up, top link in description, bet $5 on anything, $200 in bonus bets. Pretty good offer, and win or lose your first bet, it doesn't matter. Just make sure you sign up using that link. We certainly appreciate everyone that uses those links. Now, look, if people have been watching the videos so far the last few weeks, they know we start with a hot take or some sort of podcasty type question, then we get into games. Last week, we both talked with the most overrated teams in the NFL. You picked the Eagles, who got spanked by the Bucs, and I picked the Bills. The comment section was attacking me last week for taking the Bills. And hey, it didn't look too bad. Obviously, the Bills are a little bit better than what they put out on the field Sunday night, but not looking too bad. This week, our podcast question of the day, I don't know why I'm calling it that, is for MVP frontrunner. And so, look, I'm going to give the floor is yours. I don't want you, we're not picking Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes, guys that are like plus 300. I need a long shot-ish for MVP. Who would be your guy that you'd hitch your wagon to?
Yeah, so for this one, the way I look at futures bets is like, if I'm going to tie up my money in a futures bet, it should be in the name of value, right? I'm not picking something that's like plus 300 or put something that's plus 500-ish. I need it over a plus 1,000. And the guy I like, CJ Stroud, plus 1,300. I like CJ Stroud to win MVP. I think he still has a legitimate shot to do it. Sure, this Texans team is going to suffer losses every now and then, but when they actually have success and they get these wins, it's going to be on the back of CJ Stroud. I don't think their running game is going to be all that consistent, and that's really the only takeaway from a guy like CJ Stroud, who's the Mr. Do-It-All guy. He's going to drop back. He's going to throw it a million times a game, which you like to see. Texans defense could sometimes be trailing, give up big plays, make CJ Stroud have to look good in the stat sheet, because the MVP race comes down to you have to look good in the stat sheet, and your team also has to have success. I still think this division is wide open. It could easily go to the Texans. And CJ Stroud is the guy with his chemistry with Nico Collins. I like what I'm seeing from CJ Stroud, obviously a second-year player. He's looking good so far. I like CJ Stroud for a value play, but Austin, who are you going with for yours?
Yeah, I'm going to plus 1,800, and it's the man by the name of Brock Purdy. Now, before I even talk about I like Brock Purdy, I got to give Logan a shout-out. Last week, he said he load up your 49ers defensive TD bets in your ticket, and Jacoby Brissett threw a pick. So great call there. Brock Purdy, obviously, is coming in here 18-1, so obviously not the favorite. I think he's sixth, right behind Sam Darnold, CJ Stroud, and Lamar Jackson, and obviously Pat Mahomes and Josh Allen. We think about the 49ers. Who the heck knows when CMC returns? I feel like every day I load up my Twitter, and it's just another negative thing about CMC. I swear they're just going to load up, and it's going to say CMC has his legs amputated at this point. It's like, what the heck is going on with him? Who knows when he comes back? Hopefully soon. But at the same time, they're going to have to rely on Brock Purdy. Obviously, Jordan Mason's been really good, but you look at their schedule coming up. They got the Arizona Cardinals this week. Then you got the Seahawks. You're looking at the Chiefs, Cowboys. We have a lot of primetime games going into the stretch, which is important. Obviously, having big games is good. When they're all in prime time, you have to love that. Later on in the season, they go into Buffalo. They have a game there. That's a primetime game. They have another one, I believe, Thursday Night Football against the Rams. And then they close out the year with a couple games against the Lions, who could be in contention there, and then last week against the Cardinals. So I think it's a guy in Brock Purdy. I don't think he's going to rest that final week, assuming, how the season goes for him. I think this is going to be a big season for him. So obviously not off to the greatest start, but the guy's been up there in, league for passing yards. Obviously he'll be up there in completions. Touchdowns should be there. He'll be up to carrying the load for this team. I like Brock Purdy. I also like Logan's pick with CJ Stroud. You want to sprinkle on him? We certainly have our sign of approval. But Logan, people came here for some best bets, and we are starting with my team. The New York Football Jets traveling out to London to take on the undefeated Minnesota Vikings. Sam Darnold's revenge game, if you will. Jets, I'll be honest. After last week, what I saw from them against the Broncos, I'm not feeling too inspired here. Vikings are currently minus 2.5. Over under 40.5. Logan, I know we actually will be watching this game together early on Sunday morning. Is there anything you like in this one?
It's for that reason that I know.
No, stop, please. Oh, God.
Yeah, give me the Jets, and you can keep the points. I'm taking the money line. I like the Jets in this one. Look, realistically, Austin, get your head out of your hands in this one. The Jets looked terrible last week. We all know it. Brees Hall looks bad. The man couldn't rush for anything positive. Braylon Allen is kind of emerging as the guy there. But it's just because the Jets looked so bad last week that I think this London matchup actually benefits them in the short spread spot. Look, the Vikings have been good. I sort of dogged on them last week. They proved me wrong. They went into Lambeau Field, got a pretty convincing win. They did kind of let it slip away in that one a little bit. But I really think Aaron Rodgers is due a bounce back game, not playing in a monsoon. I think we can both agree on that. Given favorable weather conditions, this Jets offense will look significantly more polished. And I think that the Jets defense is going to be able to make a few stops on Minnesota, keep them out of the red zone, and out of the end zone, because this Vikings offense has had amazing success in the red zone, not having to settle for field goals. I think the Jets defense bows up a little bit in this one, and I like the Jets on the money line.
If I were to try to get and be a little sharp, I feel like Jets are definitely the sharp side. I mean, the Vikings are undefeated. They looked great. The Jets coming off a terrible game. I agree with you on the Jets front. I can't do it as a fan. I refuse. And I'm not going to bet the Vikings out of spite. I actually like the over in this game at 40.5, whatever it may be. I like the Jets coming off a terrible week. Their offense has to be better. And they couldn't run the ball for anything last week. I think this is a game, and you can't really run the ball in the Vikings. I think it's a bounce-back game for Rodgers. I think that offense is clicking. I think they'll convert some more in the red zone. And then you get to the Viking side, their offense has been humming along against anyone they want to play against. So I like points this one, a low total, but I'm not too the Jets obviously defense is solid, but I haven't seen, a team that I haven't seen them be like, oh, dang, you can't score on the Jets. They played the Broncos last week. They had -7 passing yards at halftime. Sam Darnold, a revenge game. I like what Kevin O'Connell's got for this offense going. I like this over a lot. I also like your Jets pick. Not going to do it out of I don't want to lose my money and be emotionally hurt at the same time. Not doing it. Next game, we have the Cleveland Browns going on the road to take on a red-hot Commanders team. You right now have the Commanders taking 3.5 points, -3.5, over under 44.5. Logan, I'll go first here. I actually like the Browns plus the 3.5. No one wants to bet on the Browns. No one. Heck, I don't even want to. I think a lot of people are now buying into the Jaden Daniels hype. Everyone faded him last week against the Cardinals, myself included, and they proved me wrong. I think this is a get right spot for the Browns. I think they come out here, they potentially win this game outright, but I'll take the 3.5. They could have easily won last week against the Raiders. You had a ball bounce off Amari Cooper's chest for an interception. You had they had a touchdown to Amari Cooper called back for a holding penalty that really wasn't a holding. The ref kind of got him there. I think the Browns potentially win this game. I'll take the plus 3.5. What do you like in this one, though?
Yeah, so I see the angle that you're at. It's a little bit more contrarian angle. I'm not really willing to die on the Browns yet. I like the under, though, personally. I think we've seen this Commanders team getting a bunch of shootouts and just put up points with ease. They are one of the most crazy efficient offenses we've seen in the league right now. But I still think this Browns team will bow up a little bit against them. And I always talk about when you're picking a total, if you get those red zone trips into field goals rather than touchdowns, you're going under that total. I don't care what it's set to. The fact, honestly, that it's set to 44.5, I think the Browns are going to try to play ball control. They know Jaden Daniels is damn good. So what you want to do, you want to keep him off the field. I think the Browns are going to run the ball. They're going to try to chew as much clock as they can. If I'm the Browns offensive coordinator, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. I think you could still have success in the short and intermediate passing game against this Commanders team as well. I think it's just going to be a kind of a gritty, lower scoring game. Don't see shootout in this one. Give me the under.
I agree with you. I mean, if we've been tracking our props that I've done the last few weeks, which was a great week for our props, 13-3 last week, it has been targeting running backs against the Commanders. Obviously, this Browns rushing attack has been all over the place this year. I think they have to establish the ground, and obviously the ground game going helps your under, chew the clock, and whatnot. Next game, we have a divisional matchup as the Ravens go on the road into Cincinnati. They are slight favorites on the road, -3, over under 50.5. I saw that total and had to go. If you saw me checking back when you were talking last, it was because I was like 50.5. That seems pretty high. Yeah, that's because the Bengals defense sucks. That might be worst unit in the league. They are absolutely terrible. I'll let you go first in this one, Logan, because I'm 50-50 on two different things. I'm curious where your head is at in this 1 p.m. showdown.
Yeah, I'm weighing the points with the Ravens. I don't really care. I cannot back I cannot back this Bengals defense. They are just unbackable to me. They let the Panthers last week, which the Panthers don't score at all at home, by the way. It's one of those weirdo trends. They don't score touchdowns at home. Bengals were still letting them go all up and down the field. They were just very fortunate that the Panthers also do not play defense themselves. Guess what? Now you face a Ravens team that's finally starting to click a little bit. They're coming off a big momentum game against the Bills, kind of beating their chest, showing, hey guys, we can still do this. We are an elite team in the league, playing with some momentum. Now you get a division rivalry. On the road, Lamar Jackson, one of his most famous plays, I think, was the run he had against the Bengals. I don't know what year it was, maybe his rookie year or the year after that. I know you know what I'm talking about. It was like the spin move that he hit across the middle of the field. He will show out. He will show out in a big way against the Bengals defense that can't stop a nosebleed. I like the Ravens laying the points in this one.
Yeah, I was either between the Ravens and the over. I'll squad ride with you. I'll join you on the Ravens. We talked about them last week against the Bills. The big thing about the Ravens that I liked last week was their pass defense. Their rushing defense has been elite. If you want to fade Zach Moss, Chase Brown, I certainly have my sign of approval. I might be fading them this week, depending on what props we get. I think you're going to need Joe Burrow to throw for 300 plus to beat this Ravens team. What I've seen from him this year hasn't really seen a lot. I mean, sure, he had a good game last week, give or take, against the Panthers, but hasn't been the greatest. I like the Ravens here. That ground game's been going. I haven't liked what I've seen out of the Bengals rushing defense, and I've all of the points included with you, Logan. I'll lay the -2.5. I'm glad it's still 2.5 and not 3. So I'll take the Ravens -2.5. I'll take that. We'll run away with it. Hopefully the Ravens just destroy the Bengals. We can get another win on the record. Let's move to our next game, though. We have a big one. We have a pick'em as the Bills go on the road, taking on the Texans. Right now, this is a borderline pick'em. I mean, the Bills are -118 on the money line, over under 47.5 here. Obviously, it's priced as a pick'em, Logan. I'm going to go first. I like the over in this game. I like it at 47.5. I haven't really seen a lot from this Texans defense. It's really scared me. I mean, if they gave any sort of time to Trevor Lawrence last week, the Jaguars did, the offensive line, you would have seen him dotting him up. Brian Thomas, I swear, was open every single route. I think it's a bounce back week for the Bills offense. I think they're able to put up points, 25, 30 points themselves. And then the Texans offense, if they get trailing, run game, never heard of it. They just start chucking the ball in. I think you saw the Ravens kind of expose that Bills defense, who we've been talking about, is not as good as people might think it is. I think this is a game similar to what we saw in week 1 between the Bills and the Cardinals. Cardinals, another team that will run the ball, but a lot of pass-happy things are trying to throw the ball, get the ball downfield. I think this is an over game. I'm taking the over at 47.5. You got any pick on the side, or you want to join me on the over or the under? What do you like here?
So I initially was leaning the under, but you know what? I'm not going to fade you like that. I'm not going to be disrespectful. I like this side equally. Give me the Texans straight up. I think they get this win. It's priced as a pick 'em for a reason in this one. I think both these teams are very similar stylistically. Great explosive offenses, very suspect defenses. Didn't like at all what I saw from the Texans last week, letting the Jaguars go up and down the field like that. Like, what the heck was that? But again, I just think CJ Stroud has more to work with than Josh Allen. And you might say, oh, that's crazy. I mean, he relies on these magic plays, rolling out of the pocket, chucking it deep to Khalil Shakir, and just kind of praying, right? That's the F it. Shakir's out there somewhere. I mean, it's crazy. I really do think CJ Stroud gets it done. I think he makes enough big plays. This Bills defense, I don't think they're elite. I don't think anyone's going to fight me on that. This is not an elite unit. And I still think the Texans are going to be able to keep them honest a little bit with the run game. If James Cook doesn't really get going for the Bills, I think this is going to be a long day for Buffalo. Give me Texas, or give me the Texans in this one.
Hey, I love the spot. Let's hope it's a 48-0 type game. Next game, Logan, your Panthers are on the road taking on the Bears. Bears are 3.5-point favorites, over under at 42. I'll go first here, Logan. I'm fading your Panthers. Get them out of my face. I'm taking the Bears -3.5. This feels like a spot that people might want to take the Panthers plus the points. Like, surely the Bears don't deserve to lay over a field goal. They haven't looked great this year. Hiding this to Caleb Williams get right spot. I haven't seen anything from that Panthers defense that is scary outside of J.C. Horn. And we know the Bears have a bunch of different pass catchers they can throw out there. Finally got DeAndre Swift going last week. And that Bears defense, man, it's no joke. They're a really good unit. I think they'll give Andy Dalton some fits. He's been obviously looking pretty good, but I don't think he'll have his number one guy, Deontay Johnson. He'll probably be shadowed by Jalen Johnson. And you're really going to be begging on guys like Xavier Legette and those other guys to make plays. I don't see it happening consistently. I'll lay the points with the home favorite Bears. Not something I do often, but I think it's a winner in week 5. But Logan, what do you like here? You want to back your Panthers?
I don't. No, I love what you're on. I like the Bears laying the points in this one. Yeah, there's no reason for me to back the Panthers in this spot. I think it's a terrible matchup stylistically. You have a Bears team that plays pretty solid defense. I mean, they're kind of tough to move the ball on. especially in the red zone. I think they can bow up, stop Chuba Hubbard. Really, like it comes down to, can you stop Chuba? Can you stop those little dink and dunks to Deontay Johnson? If you can stop that, I think you've stopped 80% of the Panthers offense. And then we talk about Caleb. I mean, I think he's starting to build rapport with this receiving core. DJ Moore, in a funny enough revenge game, how he has to taunt me like this. DJ Moore, big DJ Moore game. I'm calling that right now. I think the Bears win this one pretty convincingly by a touchdown or more. Give me Chicago.
Yeah, DJ Moore revenge game. That'll be fun to see. Next game, we have the Colts going on the road into Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. The Jags -2.5, still in search of their first victory. Now, there is a side note here. Logan and I recording this Tuesday evening. We do not know who is starting for the Colts. Could it be Anthony Richardson, who has a hip pointer injury, or could it be the 40-year-old Joe Flacco, who came in and got a win last week? Logan, is there anything you like in this game?
Yeah, so I was just looking at the trends, and I was like,
that's what I was just about to look up. How many of the Colts won?
I know. I was like, I swear, going back to last year, there's like this crazy streak going where the Colts can't win in Jacksonville. I'm gonna count them real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 straight losses for the Colts in Jacksonville. Yeah, make it 10. I'll lay the points with the Jags. I mean, look.
No, add it to my card. Add that to my card. I'm in. I'm in on Jags too. You can give us the sell job, and then we'll move on to the next game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you don't have a whole lot to add amongst my points, but I'm going to say Jags offense looking okay last week. I like the way they were moving the ball. You know, a little bit of balanced attack with ETN. Like to see that. Jags defense just got to get it straight. And with Jonathan Taylor banged up, I don't know his status either. That could be a potential, a loss for them too. I don't think this Colts defense is really going to be able to put up anything against Jacksonville. And Colts offense, I mean, Anthony Richardson, even if he does play, he's not looked all that sharp. He doesn't take care of the ball. Give me Jacksonville.
Jacksonville, it's on my card already. It becomes a 25-unit play if Joe Flacco is not starting. If it's Anthony Richardson, it might be the freest bet on the board. The line's going to go up if Anthony Richardson's active. That's how it's going to work. It's going to go to 4.5. That guy sucks. Sorry, he didn't deserve that, but you're right. We're following the trends. Hey, Jacksonville owns the Colts in Jacksonville. We'll keep rolling with them. We love the Jags. Get their first win at home and hopefully cover the line. Next one, we got the Barf Bowl as the Dolphins go on the road in New England to take on the Patriots. If anyone has anything super confident here, let us know in the comment section down below, as the Patriots are pick 'em. Look, the books looked at this game like, how the hell do you want us to price this? We're just going to make it a pick 'em. You have fun with it. We'll put the over-under super low at 35.5. And you know what, Logan? Not low enough. I'm taking the under. I watched Tyler Huntley on Monday Night Football, and he sucked. I had the under and longest completion. That might have been the easiest bet of the weekend or the week at all. I mean, the guy literally threw 2 yards down the line of scrimmage. What the Patriots are really good at, stopping the run. I haven't seen anything from the Dolphins offense. And on the flip side, that Patriots offense looks just as bad. They're absolutely terrible. These are 2 terrible offenses. I think at worst, this is like a maybe 20-14 type game. You're asking these teams to put up like 4 touchdowns combined to get over that number. No shot. Give me the under, 35.5. This feels like an Iowa game. I like the under, but what do you like here, Logan?
I totally see your angle with the under. And if I were to lean a total in this one, I would lean the under as well. Give me the Dolphins on the money line in the Barf Bowl. I know it's bad. It's really, really bad. I don't think anybody's running out to the counter to place a Miami Dolphins money line ticket in this one, especially after the egg they just laid on Monday night. But you know what? The way I look at it still is offensive talent. Miami will be able to figure it out one of these weeks. That's what we just keep telling ourselves. Is this the week? Maybe. I mean, I don't see a whole lot of offensive threat from New England in this one at all. And I think Mike McDaniel is going to have another week with some quarterback continuity. Obviously, we know Huntley should start. He has been
announced as the starter. They already announced he will be starting again. So
okay, so I mean, the fact that he's starting in there once again, another week under his belt in this system, they'll figure it out. They'll get it right. You know, Achan will have a big game. Want to play a prop in that one? Achan 80+ yards and a touchdown. Put it on my card.
All right, add that to the card. I love it. Hey, Achan, I need it because they're on my fantasy team, which is currently Does not
Oh
have a
my
win on
gosh.
the season. Well, we don't need to get there. We don't need to get there. I need Ryan Mountcastle's fantasy team. Maybe he'll trade with me. Next game, we go to divisional matchups. The Cardinals are on the road to take on the 49ers. Over under, second highest on the board at 49.5 behind that Bengals-Ravens game earlier on in the video. Right now, you have to lay over a touchdown for the 49ers if you want to back up -7.5. Logan, Cardinals hurt me last week, and they're going to have the chance to hurt me again. I'm back on the Cardinals, +7.5. They couldn't have looked worse last week, but I think I'm just betting on Kyler Murray and this offense figuring it out. I think they can come in here and cover this one by +7.5. The Patriots obviously didn't do anything on offense last week and they got smoked, but I think this Cardinals offense can bounce back here. I still like what they got going with the ground game, coming off a terrible loss, going on the road against a divisional matchup. If this line were 6.5, I'm probably off of it, but I think they could lose by a touchdown or less. Not my favorite pick, though, of the weekend that I've given out so far, but I'll take the Cardinals plus the 7.5. But what do you like here?
Yeah, me personally, I like the over. I'm going to go over 49.5. I just think this total is set kind of high, but I think it's going to be a shootout. And I really do think this Niners defense is not, I'm not going to call them bad at all because they're still an elite unit, but they're showing a few holes. Let's not pretend that the Patriots were dead in the water for the whole game. They still moved the ball a little bit. They just couldn't convert when they needed to, and that's what bad offenses do. This Cardinals offense isn't bad. They just have had a few weeks of not looking good, but they still have all the talent, and I think they're going to piece it together against this divisional rival. And then on the other side, Brock Purdy, he's looking kind of like Superman. I mean, the fact that he has his name in the MVP conversation is for a good reason. He's going to get IU.
He's cooked now that I picked him, though. He's cooked now, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. Rest in peace, Brock Purdy. Don't know what's going to happen to you, but Austin O'Connell has put the little voodoo doll poking at him. But realistically, I still think Brock Purdy has a lot of offensive talent, and this Cardinals defense is not good. I'm actually coming out and saying that right now. I mean, I think this one has shootout potential, explosive plays written all over it. Deebo Samuel's going to have a big game. I like the over 49.5.
Love that pick as well. I have no confidence in the Cardinals defense. It's most of their offense. I hope to show up. Next game, we have the Broncos playing hosts to the Las Vegas Raiders. With the Raiders, what is going on? I don't even know what to talk about that team. That team's coming off a win, and Devontae Adams now requested a trade. I don't know what's going on in Las Vegas, but Denver's laying a couple points, 2.5 at home, and another low over under at 36.5. Logan, what do you like in this game and why? Yeah, I'm letting you go first because honestly, I got no idea. So yeah, I just want to hear what you got to say.
To me, this is like Barf Bowl Part 2, Barf Bowl late window, 4 o'clock version. But I mean, really in this one, it's tough. I mean, this is like probably in my least confident category. Slight lean on the under though, 36.5. I really don't see how these two teams are going to be able to get there. This Broncos defense, they know how to put in the stops. I mean, they won that stop fest against the Jets because they made the stops when they needed to. Obviously, the Raiders defense, they're up and down this year. They got smoked by Carolina, which was weird. But then they made a few stops against Cleveland. I mean, you say what you want about that game being weird and fluky. They still made a few stops themselves. Neither of these offenses have explosive play potential. I think the under is the clear play in this one. I don't think they can set this number low enough.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you, Logan, but give me the Raiders plus 2.5. You know what? Yeah, I'll take the points. I'm taking the road Raiders. A couple reasons why. Number one, Bo Nix stinks. He's lucky the Jets stink even more. They should have lost that game. Whatever, it is what it is. But I have not seen much of the Bo Nix. I like their defense. I'll give them credit. I like the Broncos defense. I like your under pick. I just like the Raiders offense a little bit more. I think they get some things going here. I don't know. This is just a gut call. The Raiders have to win. I mean, I can't say they have to win this week, but with everything that's going on in their, behind the scenes, it feels like they're still managing to string together a win or two here and there. I think they win this game. I'll take them plus 2.5. Anyone that wants to, load up Broncos ML, put that in your parlay. See how that goes. That's disgusting. Laying minus 150 with Bo Nix. Count me out. Raiders go into Denver and they come out with a win, but they covered the plus 2.5, which is all I need. Next game. Packers on the road taking on the Los Angeles Rams. Over under 47.5. Packers laying a couple points, -3, maybe -2.5, whatever it may be. Logan, I'm indifferent on this game because you know what? Jordan Love, that man is king garbage time, and it pisses me off every week. Got his under and passing touchdown season long. Yeah, no, it's probably cooked. He missed a couple weeks, and it's still cooked because he literally comes in and pads the stats. They piss me off. Give me the Rams plus the points because I hate Jordan Love. I hate them. And I don't think anyone wants to take the Rams. I think people will be putting Green Bay money line in there. There's no chance the Rams come out here and win. I'll take the Rams plus 3.5. I think they come in here. I think you can get a 3.5 a reasonable number. I'll take the Rams. I think this is a deja vu game of 49ers versus Rams just a few weeks ago. We saw the 49ers go into LA. You thought, oh, there's no chance they lose there. Boom. Matthew Stafford and company got it done. This is the same thing. Matthew Stafford get the job done against a familiar foe in the Packers. Like them plus 3.5. What, Logan, what do you like here?
Yeah, you know what? I'm in full agreement with you. If I'm going to be contrarian, be sharp on some plays, I want it to be on veteran quarterbacks and good offensive minds and good coaches. Yeah, that's McVay, and that's this Rams team. That's the type of team that I can get sharp on. I ain't trying to get sharp on the Raiders, no offense. But yeah, I mean, this Rams team still has the veteran quarterback with Stafford back there making plays. They were in that game against Chicago. I mean, that game kind of came down to the wire, and that was a game they didn't even really look good in. And then meanwhile, on the other side, you got the Packers. Jordan Love, sure, he'll put up some good numbers every now and then. He's still kind of reckless with the ball. I mean, he's rolling out, kind of chucking it deep against a Rams team that I think will be able to scheme for him, sort of keep him in the pocket a little bit, contain him, contain Josh Jacobs. I think they'll have the Packers under wraps. I would not be shocked at all if the Rams get this outright win, but we'll take the points for safety in this one. I think this is a field goal type game any way you slice it.
Yeah, and worth noting, Rams on a bye next week. You think they want to go into their bye week 1-4? I don't think so. It's a big spot for them. They need to wake up and get this win, and I think they hold ground at home. You know there's going to be a lot of cheeseheads. There's going to be cheeseheads all over the place in LA. They got to show up, and they got to win that game for their home crowd. Give us the Rams plus the points. Next game, Giants on the road taking on the Seahawks. The Seahawks laying 6.5, over under at 43.5 here. Logan, I'll let you go first. This is an interesting one. Giants obviously had a lot of time to prepare coming off a Thursday night loss. Seahawks short rest coming off that Monday night loss as well. Is there anything you like here, though?
Yeah, it's the rest factor that you kind of pointed out that was where my mind was going in this one. Kind of a nasty pick. I know we don't like to put our money on Danny Dimes, but give me the Giants plus the points in this one. I'm going to try to be sharp again in this spot. In this window, I mean, this Seahawks team, we saw they were able to move the ball up and down in Detroit. I mean, that was a ridiculous shootout. You got the call of the lifetime calling the over in that game on Monday night. But what do we see from the Seahawks defense? Nothing. I mean, good Lord, they've looked bad. I still think Danny Dimes can dice him up a little bit in this one. He'll use his legs. He'll be able to keep this game a one-possession type game, and that's really kind of all I'm asking for. Keep this one flirting within a field goal. I think the Giants are very competitive in this one. I don't really trust the Seahawks defense at all. Giants defense, say what you want about them. They still have some talent up front. I'll take their defensive line against a lot of units. I think the Giants keep this one close. Give me the Giants plus the points. That's just too many points in my opinion.
Yeah, we haven't disagreed enough in this video, and it's not going to start here. I like the Giants for a couple different reasons like you do. I think they're able to score points. Last week settled for a lot of field goals, which obviously isn't ideal, but you can shore up those things. And with the Seahawks defense, what they really want to do is, hey, we don't want you to get any deep plays on us. So they'll give up the short routes, and we saw the Giants were fully capable of doing that. Malik Neighbors, Wan'Dale Robinson, those both guys had 10-plus receptions last week on Thursday. Obviously, the longer rest here, that's a big thing, getting more than, heck, on a normal week, you already have more rest. Now you got a team coming off Monday night versus Thursday night. I like the G-Men. I think their defense is solid. Geno's, a little revenge game here, if you will. I'll call it what it is, but I'll take the Giants plus the points. I wish it was a 7 or a 7.5 number, but I'll take the 6.5. I think they can easily go out there, keep this game. I think it's the lower scoring game. If I hadn't been anything, I think this is an under. Maybe like a 23-20. That'd be real close to the number, 20-17 type game. I think 6.5, a little bit too much. Logan, we're moving on to Sunday Night Football, as we're going to talk about the Cowboys going on the road to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. We got a Sunday night game. Steelers laying some points, -2.5, over under at 43.5. Logan, I'll let you lead things off here. Sunday Night Football, anything you like here?
This is honestly the only spot that I'll take Dallas plus the points. I mean, I just cannot get there with Pittsburgh laying that number. I don't really know, honestly, like where this line closes. I don't know how people's feelings are going to feel by the time we get to Sunday night. I just trust Dallas to be able to figure it out offensively. They have the playmakers. They have the offensive talent to be able to do so. And you know what? This Justin Fields scramble around, make plays happen thing, can be shut down, and teams will figure out how to scheme against it. He's playing hero ball right now. He's running around in the pocket like a chicken with its head cut off, and he's making those big time throws down the field, and they are working for him right now. Didn't quite work last week. Didn't make all the plays he needed to. A little bit reckless with the ball, which is the Justin Fields experience. But just give me Dak, give me CeeDee Lamb, give me Brandon Cooks, give me Ferguson, give me all those guys to be able to counteract a very, very good Pittsburgh defense. But again, the Pittsburgh defense, I mean, Joe Flacco in that Colts offense, they were able to run all over that Steelers front, which surprised me a little bit. Maybe Dallas keeps them on their toes a little bit by actually being able to run the ball. They still have more explosive playmakers. Give me the Cowboys in this one.
Yeah, I'm fading you. I'm taking the Steelers minus the points.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
I have not liked what I've seen of that Cowboys defense outside of maybe shut down Danny Dimes. They were able to move up the ball up and down the field. Steelers coming off a bad week, but I don't necessarily blame them. They prepared for Anthony Richardson, and then the guy with Joe Flacco. Those literally, you can't be two more polar opposite QBs in the league than those two guys. You have Joe Flacco who's like, all right, I'm going to dink and dunk. Whereas Anthony Richardson's like, it's like all or nothing. I saw a tweet the other day that said, you never know what you're getting out of Anthony Richardson. He's like an enigma. You either get the greatest play of all time or the worst play. And that's basically what you live with it. And I just didn't like that spot for him. The Steelers coming back home here. I think they can come out and get this win by a field goal. I'll take them on the money line. I don't need to take the 2.5. I'll take the money line. I think the Cowboys, a lot of people are going to be chasing their money, trying to get plus money on the Cowboys on the road against the Steelers with Justin Fields. No. This is a win for the Steelers. Give me them on the money line. We'll give you the Cowboys, Logan. We'll see who wins in that game. And finally, Monday Night Football. The New Orleans Saints travel to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. Injury news here. Rashee Rice, no idea what's going on with him. Everyone thought he has a torn ACL. Then reports as of today are like, oh, maybe he doesn't have a torn ACL. We'll see. I doubt. There's no chance he plays this week. So hopefully get well soon. Hopefully some good news has come out for Rashee Rice. Right now you got the Chiefs laying about 4.5, give or take. Over under at 42.5. Logan, I know you've been a Saints hype beast the last few weeks, and they've burned you. You've lost 2 straight weeks on the Saints. You care to make that 3?
No. I'm rolling with Kansas City in this one. I don't like the Saints going into Arrowhead at all. Think they just match up pretty poorly in this one. Really, if you look at this Chiefs team, what gets all the press, what gets all the attention? It's Mahomes, it's Kelsey, it's Xavier Worthy even. It's all the offensive stuff, right? I think we've been ignoring how good this Chiefs defense really is. They are an elite unit. And do you really want to put your coin on Derek Carr in primetime against a Chiefs defense that I think is legit in Arrowhead? I don't really want that. I give me the Chiefs in this one. They'll make enough plays. People always joke online about the refs being on the Chiefs side. Sure, I mean, call it what you want, whatever. They get the flags. They put themselves in those positions to make the refs have to make some of those tough calls. But hey, I mean, Patrick Mahomes, I'm not fading him in this spot. Give me the Chiefs and I'll lay the points with them.
Now here's a guy. I don't want to get Chris Collinsworth for this game. Oh God! No, that's Sunday Night Football. Maybe
it's Monday. It's Joe Buck. It's Joe Buck and A.
All right. We're safe for that one. Since you're jumping off the Saints bandwagon, it is a perfect time for me to hop on. Saints plus 5.5. They got an open spot from Logan bailing on them. No, I'm not bailing on them. Saints are coming in here. I looked up Derek Carr's record on Monday. 7-4, might make that 8-4 on Mondays. Look, Patrick Mahomes hasn't looked good. I mean, it hasn't looked great. Obviously, he turns it on in the playoffs, sure, but the stats he's putting up haven't been great. It's mostly been the defense that's showing up. Now that you have no running back, you have no Rashee Rice for this week, and you have a corpse of Travis Kelce who finally got going last week, but I think the Saints can game plan to take him away. I think this is a tough spot for the Chiefs to put up points. A low over-under at 42.5. I'll take the points in my back pocket. I'll take them plus 5. I think the Saints come in here and win outright. Wouldn't shock me if the Chiefs go down. I think the Saints coming in here hungry. Hungry. And I think the Saints get this victory. Give me them plus 5. How you feel about that?
That's quite controversial. I mean, they're finally getting Kelsey going, which is kind of what I wanted to see. The Chiefs are overpowered when they got the Mahomes to Kelsey connection. It was a little bit dormant. I think they were trying to use some of their new toys like Carson Steele, Xavier Worthy. They were trying to integrate those guys into the offense, but really they're just good when it's the Mahomes to Kelsey, dink and dunk, read each other's minds down the field. And I really, really, really think the Saints defense is finally starting to come down to earth. I was singing their praises in the first few weeks of the season, and they're still a good unit. I just don't think they're ready for the spot. Give me the Chiefs in this one. I'm glad to disagree with you. I like it. It's fun. We'll see who comes out on top, though.
Yeah, we'll see a little battle there. We got Saints versus Chiefs. Let's see what goes down. Those are favorite picks for week 5. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. We'll come back next week and we'll track how we did. Let's hope we can have another great week. 34-24 for me, 35-24 for Logan. We'll see where those records stand next week. You guys have a great week. Good luck on all your picks. Obviously, we'll have a bunch of NFL picks as the week goes on. Thursday Night Football. If you want to hear Logan's thoughts, I'll link that video once that is live Wednesday or Thursday morning. And of course, you can go check out all of our picks for Sunday, which should be live on Saturday. So, had a great week great start to the NFL season, Logan. Let's keep it going in week 5. We'll see you guys back again next week with some more picks. See you then. Peace.